Mental health issues are not only limited to those people who are diagnosed with mental illness. It is not always possible to be positive. There are times when we would just let down your hair. And it is okay to feel bad. It is okay to feel frustrated. This is only a small chapter of your life. Maybe in your entire autobiography, this will just be one small chapter. You have to move on. So take the problems, take the emotional states almost like a fog. Let it come, let it subside, and let you have a clear vision once again. Mental health issues are not only limited to those people who are diagnosed with mental illness.
Absolutely.
This is important for all of us. This is not really a once and for all kind of a state, that once we had depression and now we are out of it and we would never have depression. Or once we had anxiety, we would never experience anxiety. In fact, mental health professionals can also have psychological issues. That is also absolutely possible. I think it is important to me, this is important that, when I feel that I have the self-determinism, I have the right to make the choices I want to make. I'm engaging into meaningful works the way I want to engage. I'm happy and comfortable the way I am. And I'm happy and comfortable by being myself. So a part of me, which is my being, is comfortable in whichever identity that I take up. Another part of me, which is my doing self, is comfortable in whatever meaningfully I'm doing. So mental health to me is basically a combination of all these factors. When we feel that these factors are, interfered by certain contexts, by certain circumstances, by the environment, that itself can become a very problematic element to ensure mental health in an unequal world. Inequality in terms of finances, money, these have actually impacted us greatly. So I would say that the caregivers will have to be extremely sensitive to understand this greater picture. For example, they have to realize that when we say that you have to struggle, you have to be all right, you have to be happy, you have to be positive, as if we are putting the entire responsibility upon the individual. It is not always possible to be positive. There are times when we would just let down your hair. And it is okay to feel bad. It is okay to feel frustrated. But the primary idea is to understand, empathize, and acknowledge without being judgmental towards the severity, or without feeling that why this person is being so agitated, why this person is being so anxious, what is there to feel so bad? No, there are reasons to feel bad. There are reasons to feel so much demoralized. We have to start on that. And the first thing that we have to remember about compassion is I would not label myself the way I'm labeled. The world would not always be fair. The world will discriminate. The world may treat us unfairly, negatively. So no matter how many times you're reflected in the society, you are not them. You are much larger than that. So somewhere the first thing is be benevolent towards yourself. Understand yourself. It's very easy to say that, I hate judgmental people. I've seen that we are extremely judgmental towards ourselves. We are extremely harsh when we fail. We are extremely harsh when we make a mistake. When we do something and we say, how could I do it? Hum itna stupid kaise ban gaye yaar? We have to be gentle because it is possible. Sometimes we look at our previous mistakes and we say, at that time, how could I do it? Today, so you have today's learning. With today's knowledge, how can you be so harsh towards that self of yours which did something, let's say, a year back? So all of that are part of developing self-compassion. We must not be too rigid with our actions, too rigid with ourselves. Of course, we must learn from the lessons that we learn on day-to-day basis. And we should try to implement them. But at the same time, we should also realize that it's a humongous expectation out of ourselves that we would always feel terribly good. We would always make the best of the decisions. We would always be able to give our best shots. We would never make mistakes. No. Things will be all right someday. There will be days when I'm not in my best state of mind. But again, we probably have to first acknowledge that within myself. I should not keep myself in self-denial. I should also realize that, let's say, for example, today I'm in a horrible mood and maybe I'm having a kind of conflict with a colleague. So I can tell my colleague that, my dear, I'm not in the right frame of mind today. So can we please discuss this tomorrow? because today things would inevitably go wrong.
Yes.
So this self-reflection is very important. Self-reflection, and then we can be gentle towards ourselves. We have to treat ourselves positively. We have to treat ourselves without such judgments. The way we treat ourselves, perhaps the world will also learn to treat us in the same way. This is only a small chapter of your life. Maybe in your entire autobiography, this will just be one small chapter. You have to move on. Life does not follow any pattern. These patterns are there in our heads where we ask ourselves, why me? मेरे साथ ये क्यों हुआ यार? The fact is, हम सबके साथ सब कुछ हो सकता है. We have to understand that. If I have some digestive issues one day, we feel, "Arey yaar, aaj hum kuch kha nahi payenge. I'm feeling too full." That does not mean you will not be hungry tomorrow. So sometimes you might feel that I'm too full with all the problems. I can't deal with it. Okay, that is your state of mind today. Tomorrow you might have, a better start. You might be in a state to deal with life in a different way. So take the problems, take the emotional states almost like a fog. Let it come, let it subside, and let you have a clear vision once again.